I'm going to show you a way to make a little practice kit out of odds and ends. Watch this. Shazam! By the powers of magic, I've removed the snare drum and the rack tom and replaced it with this old piano stool. That can be anything. And the important thing what you want to do is get something to sit on, preferably something without a back. To get the height right, just imagine you don't want your knees higher than the tops of your legs. You want a bit of angle down, I always think. Now, where people go wrong making makeshift drum kits often is they use pots and pans, they use noisy things. They think, oh, that looks a bit like a drum, that makes a lot of noise. And the last thing you want is something noisy. You want something what feels like a drum kit, but isn't going to annoy the neighbours, other people in your house. So forget pots and pans, forget anything noisy. We're going to use books. I've got the Fallen there, and I've got Rockin', some kind of encyclopedia, which gets it about height what we want, I would have thought. Still a bit noisy, so what I've got here is an old yoga mat. Now if you wrap that up with the yoga mat, by the way, I should say you want hardback books, none of this paperback nonsense. Now we want the rack tom there, okay? We've got a few different books. Shaun Ryder, height, we've got Spiders from Mars. A good thing to do, what I always find in this situation, is use your wife's books and then you can still read your own books. How to Build a Girl, Caitlin Moran. There you go, that's magic. Boom, bam, 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 bam. Okay, so that's pretty much what you need. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the bass drum. Watch this. There, look, bass drum gone. Stamp, just point your toe down a bit and stamp with the front of your foot. I haven't got a carpet, so I'm going to use a bit of yoga mat. You got the snare drum, rack tom, bass drum. All you need to do is you can use the rack tom for the hi-hat. But if you want to be clever and take it one further, there you go, it's a chair. It's a, I don't know what you call it, like some kind of a fold-up chair. Bit clicky, needs quietening down a bit. Bit of yoga mat. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's optional, if you don't have that you can do it on there. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Again, if you're playing something on there, boom, bang, boom, boom, bang, boom, boom, bang, boom, boom, bang. You could just play it there instead. But if you can be bothered, get something like that there as well. Likewise with that thing there, the floor tom. Put anything there. Watch. Bit noisy, very noisy. Now, if you can be bothered with another pile of books wrapped up in yoga mat, stick them there. If you haven't with a floor tom, you'll get away with a cushion. Boom, bang, boom, boom, bang. Nice. Now the floor tom wants to be the same level as the snare. The hi-hat needs to be a certain amount higher. What's mine there? It's only actually about 3 or 4 inches higher than the snare. To be honest, I think you should have that a bit higher. There you go. The drum kit's back. Nice. Right, few things to remember. Snare drum, bang in between your legs, and the floor tom wants to be the same height as the snare. Okay? The rack tom wants to be a little bit higher than the snare. The hi-hat wants to be considerably higher than the snare, at least half a stick, probably 3/4 of a stick higher than the snare. Another important thing, don't have the wall too near behind you. You need to be able to do that comfortably. Rotating your body and your arms, you don't want to be having to do that because you're worried about banging your elbows on the walls. And lastliest, don't go buying big sticks. They'll make far too much noise in the house, and you'll learn to play better with smaller sticks. These are like jazz sticks, 7A. Don't go bigger than a 5A. Okay, thanks for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Facebook /Alan Shed. Cheers, drummers.
Alan, have you seen my yoga mat?